Obviously, I'm really excited to be able to introduce her. She's our newest Elite Pro 7. She's been a plastic surgeon for 18 years, and she actually dabbled in this business for the first 2 to 3 years, then started to understand the enormity of what the possibilities were, and she was literally able to walk away from medicine in 5 years with this company. So everyone, please welcome new Elite Pro 7, Dr. Rebecca Glasser. Dr. Glasser, how are you?
I'm good. Can you see me okay here?
Picture perfect. Picture perfect. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. And folks, she is going to be sharing with all of you what she has done specifically from April to today. I was fortunate enough to be in Grand Junction a few weeks ago, pushing and helping her team get to that elite rank. And we started looking at numbers, and what she shared with me, I says, oh my goodness, you've got to share this with everyone. And we actually started looking at her business, and when she implemented social media into her business model, that's what took her to elite, and that's what she's going to be talking about today. All yours, Dr. Glasser.
All right, everybody. So I should take over the screen, and Gabe, I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen right from the get-go so that everyone can see my screen. I'm not seeing it, Gabe. Are you? Let's see.
Yes. Yeah, we can. I mean, I can see it, but there's nothing on it. There you go.
All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about here is, and hopefully no one will be messaging me while I'm on these screens because those will pop up. But the first thing I'm going to talk about is social media and creating your brand. And this is my Facebook page, and you guys can see there's my professional picture that's there in the circle. And then my background picture is a picture of Telluride, one of my favorite places to go. And I'm building my brand. And you can see, you know, when you're looking at my screen here and you're looking at my introduction, you can see I have a lot of information on here on plastic surgery. You can see I live in Grand Junction. I'm from Chapel Hill. I have a business page here. You can see pictures of my family and whatnot. But what you don't see is you don't see Protandim or LifeVantage or any of those other things where people think I'm a plastic surgeon. They're going to learn more about my other information. And then you can see too, I'm always trying to think of posts that I can do in order to create curiosity, in order to people to comment or like. And we were up on the Mesa recently, and we were looking at all the leaves changing. And you can see I did this post where I said, reaching, reaching, reaching to make it to the top. Then the sun will shine upon you and bring out your true beauty. Hope the sun shines on you today. And again, you know, I'm going to get likes, I'm going to get comments. People even tell me, Rebecca, I just follow you for your pictures. And that's great. But, you know, at the same time, I'm also going to put posts on here where, you know, here's one of them where I'm talking about aspen trees and how that I finally reached this elite status in my company. Again, I'm not talking about LifeVantage. I'm not talking about Protandim. But I can tell you that my, you know, 2,000 friends are looking at this and going, what is she doing? Okay. So then every now and then I put in a post that might create a little bit more curiosity, that people are like, what are you doing? And here's one of them where I'm showing a picture of the pharmaceutical industry. And again, I'm trying to create curiosity. And I got a number of comments on this post. I'm trying to, again, get people to ask me more. So as Gabe talked about, now I learned a lot from Dr. Shawn McKee, and I'm forever thankful to her for getting me really started on social media, because I was closed-minded at the time and I really didn't want to get into all of that, but luckily I did. And I created a page on social media that's my personal page for my team. And you know what I'll tell you guys is you're going to have to create your own team pages. Okay, this is mine, and what I have at the very beginning of this page is I have my announcements, and I use the short LifeVantage ABC Primetime Report and the Vitality Stack. That's the one I like. Donna talked also about the new video that was done. Now you guys are sending me friend requests like crazy. So here's the deal, okay? You only get a certain number of friends. Who do you want to friend? Well, you don't want to friend everyone in LifeVantage. You want to friend other people. So I am honored that you guys all want to friend me right now because I'm speaking, but remember, you've got to friend other people. I have a closed number of friends, so that's where I'm going with this. Now, how do we use the Biohacking to Better Health page? Well, Laura spoke about this some, and what's so important in this is I love this avenue. So one of the first things that I do with getting started is I use our training page, and you can see that this training page is available to all of you guys, and it's Connect and Impact Today. This is Gabe and Jill's training page. But I also have my own training page for my personal team. Again, it's a secret page. I only do it for my team. And some of the first things that I do is I try and get people started. So in the old days, what I did was our old methodology, which was, okay, let's have a meeting right away. Let's write down your 20 first names as your database. Let's get to a meeting. But what we do now is a little bit different now. We go to my page, my biohacking page. And again, this is just for my downline. You guys are going to have to create your own team. But what I tell people is, okay, what I first want you to do is I want you to write down 20 names. And I want you to think of those people, and then next to each one of their names, I want you to think of, why did you think of them? What's going on with them? Do they have a child who has special needs? Do they have arthritis? Are they complaining about they're a full-time mom and they don't have enough energy, they don't get enough sleep? I want you to think of exactly why you thought of that person. And then in the old days, I used to walk them through the whole back office and virtual office and go through the whole starting page and all of that, and it would take hours of training. And I don't do that anymore. What I do is I say, I want you to write down your database and we're going to meet for coffee. And I sit next to them and I say, okay, we're going to text each of these people who are on your list. And so, for example, I might think of Paula and I might go, send her a text and I go, Paula, I've been thinking about you and your arthritis. I think I found something that might help you. Would it be okay if I add you to an educational page that's run by doctors so you can look and learn more about it on your own? Well, that's a whole new approach, right? You're not trying to get people out for the evening to come to a meeting. You're not having them leave their own house. They're doing it from their home. They're doing it on their phone. So then I would go on our personal page and I might type in, for example, arthritis, okay? And then every post that is on arthritis is going to come up. And I have wonderful people on my team who are adding their personal stories. And here's Annalie, and she does this beautiful post of her before and after x-rays and her personal story of how it did this. Now you can see, I always put on there, we cannot make any claims that we cure, treat, or mitigate disease, okay? But again, you can look up something else. Let's say they had a problem with their gut. We could look up gut health. And, you know, here's a great article that is out of Yahoo, which talks about the link between gut health and autoimmune disease. So, you know, as Gabe told you, I started this Facebook training or Facebook page back in April. And, you know, here we are in October, and I went from having, you know, zero participants on my page to we're just about at 2,000 at this point. So every month I have people going on this page because this is an easy, duplicatable system. You're allowing them to do their own research, to do their own education. And they may have started off being interested in gut or energy or something else, but they may see something else on that page which strikes their interest. So for example, here's a great article. Well, here's on gut health and weight loss. So maybe they were interested in weight loss and they realized, oh my gosh, I need a good probiotic in order to help with my weight loss. All right. And so again, I think I'm duplicating what Laura was saying in that we do this add tag message. So the first part of it is once they've given their okay, and you always want to ask permission. You never want to add people to a group that they haven't approved. You know, that's being salesy, that's being pushy. Once they have given their approval, then, you know, people go to the site and they go under add member and they add that member in. Now, once those people are added into the group, then what I usually do is I go to the very beginning of my page where there's my announcement and I add them under the comment section and I just say, you know, Paula, welcome to the biohacking page. This is a great video to start with. You can also use the toolbar in order to find other topics of interest, you know, happy learning or whatever you want to say on there. So add tag message. So you're going to tag them in a few posts. Then you're going to message them. It's just like Laura was saying, you have to do the follow-up. I've had people who've added 60 people to the page and they don't even remember who they've added because it's just so many folks. You have to have a system. You have to have follow-up. I still do use an old-fashioned notebook to write down those names. I write down when I tag them. I might, if I don't hear from them, I might tag them in something else a week later or a month later. I always do my follow-up. And then I think as Laura said, it's so important. Once they're on the product, you want to follow up with them again. Please let me know how you're doing. How are you feeling? Are you having any symptoms? Answer their questions. And what I find, again, is what's so beautiful about social media is you may have people on this page who are on there for 2 or 3 months, and it's totally crickets. You haven't heard a thing from them. You've followed up with them. You've messaged them. Hey, were you able to open up the link? What else did you find on this page? Did you have any questions? Crickets. And then all of a sudden, they see a post that resonates with them. They're all of a sudden ready. They're all of a sudden open, and then they get on board. Again, as Laura was saying, a number of people, you'll notice they'll start adding people to the page. They're sharing it with their friends. This is, again, a very important time to follow up with them. Hey, I see that you added so-and-so to the biohacking page. Is there any specific health concerns that they have that you wanted them to learn more about? So again, you're following up, and then immediately once they start adding people to the page, you have to bring up the business. I see you're adding people to the page. You're sharing this with others. Have you thought about doing this as a business? Okay. Now, again, this takes group effort. You have to have leaders. You have to place content in here every day. I have 2 scheduled posts that go in every morning at 7 a.m. You know, my team knows that I'm pretty regular about doing these posts. And I can tell as soon as I add these posts on, then they start going and the tagging begins. Now, also in social media, I think that the other important thing is to have your own personal training page. And this is mine. Again, this is for my team only, so please don't ask to join it. It's just for my team. But we have training for Team Biohack. And again, you know, what do I do on this page? Well, number one, I want you guys to think about your JOB. How often do you actually get congratulated or patted on the back or praised for anything that you do at work? Not very often. And so, you know, some of the things that we do on the training page is we congratulate people. You know, for example, on my page, you know, we would have, here's Paula's initial announcement. She created a distributor packet Here's a booklet of how to. This is a great way to get started. Go ahead and download this, and it has good tips in there. We have, of course, the announcement for the virtual training with Gabe in there. We're constantly giving information on upcoming events. We congratulate people. You know, great job, Linda, on your new PC. You're doing so wonderfully. We always give those pats on the back. And then in addition to that, let's say I have somebody who's interested in getting started. What do I do to get started? Well, what I do is, again, we use Facebook. You know, one of the things that I do is I create Facebook Lives. I try and do them regularly for my team. I'm a brand new distributor. What do I do first? And then I hashtag it, getting started. So my new team members are able to get on there and see some of these videos. What if somebody didn't know about personal volume? What does PV mean? How do I get started on that? Here's another place you can go. Now, as you guys are building your own pages, you know, where do you find this information? Well, one of the best places to find it is on YouTube. And so let me just pull up YouTube real quick. There it is. On YouTube, I mean, have you ever just typed in Protandim or Dr. McCord or all of those different things? You know, there's different channels on there. Connect and Make an Impact does a great job on there. Again, you could look up Dr. McCord and survival genes or heart grafts, and all of a sudden you have information on there on how to do this. So this is a great resource. What are your other resources? Well, Gabe and Jill's page, what a great resource. That has all kinds of information on there. Now, the last thing I'm going to cover in getting started is the Ireland trip. And you guys already, your points are available. Take a look at this. But LifeVantage is very smart about their trips. They are rewarding you for specific behaviors. And so I want you to look at this on some of the things that you can do to get points. And you can see, you know, as you rank advanced, you get points. But this is pretty interesting, right? Within 3 months, how many points do you get? Do you see how they triple? So if you go, for example, in 3 months, and we had a bunch of Pro 4s this month, instead of getting 50 points, you all of a sudden get 150 points. And when you hold that rank, they're going to give you points as well. So the company wants you to get started and get started fast. So for all of you guys who are new distributors out there, this is a huge part of it because the company wants you to go fast, and of course we all want you to go to Ireland. So, okay, with that, Gabe, I am gonna turn it back over to you. That was just kind of a little snapshot on social media, but hopefully you guys got some good pearls today. Again, go to YouTube, look at social media. Oh my gosh, there's so much for you guys to learn on there. If you just type in social media, it'll give you all of these tips. If you haven't watched Rachel Jackson's information on social media, she's a Pro 9. Her whole team got there through social media. Make sure that you take a look at that. Learn how to do this. Listen, this was totally out of my comfort zone. I was not comfortable with social media at all. I made myself do it. I made myself learn it. You guys can do it too. I have full confidence that you can do this for your teams.
I can hear the conversations right now that you and I had about it. How am I going to do this, Gabe? I go, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I mean, it was amazing on what you've accomplished in those 7 months. I mean, you know, if you look at your revenues now, it's approaching half of what you had. So folks, I tell you what, you know, especially if you're around my age, you know, it's something that you're going to have to do. And you're going to have to do exactly what Dr. Glasser did. You're just going to have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. And now she is just starting to see, you know, the fruits of her hard labor. It hasn't even hit yet, but it got her to Elite Pro 7. And I made the comment earlier that, you know, we're projected, when I say we're, the network marketing industry is 220 billion, but it's projected to double in the next few years on exactly what Dr. Glasser was just talking to all of us about. That's the reason. So everything is moving faster. You can build your business, you know, so much easier. So I'm going to call it a non-negotiable. Okay. So, and I'm not saying you have to do it 100% of the time. Start out like she did 7 months ago and just started slowly but surely. And she still by no means builds her business 100% on social media. She does the meetings. I mean, she does, you know, she's just added more fuel to her fire. So Dr. Glasser, thank you so much. I think that was one of your best presentations that you've ever done. And I would never would have guessed it would have come on social media.
And if I may, I want to make just one last comment on this. So, you know, I talked about social media primarily, but just remember, I have on my training page, I have our October calendar. We have over 10 meetings this month here in Grand Junction. So don't think that I am 100% social media. I am absolutely not. You start on social media, then you pick up the phone and you call them and you invite them to a meeting, or you invite them to the Monday night webinar, or you invite them to a conversation if they're across the country. So just remember, don't rely 100% on the internet. There is nothing that replaces knee to knee, having a conversation, looking somebody in the face and having that conversation. That's what helps you close. Laura, you know, it's the same thing. They may start everything on social media, but she is personal. She is having a conversation with these people. They know that she cares about them just as we do on our team in Grand Junction. So remember, it's a combination of everything. And if you have people on your team who don't do social media, who aren't on Facebook, they need another way of duplication. Don't make them do something they are completely uncomfortable with. Find what works for them.
Exactly. Thank you so much.